It's Randy Orton. Oh,
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
Alright guys, what's up? Mr. Beta899 here, and today I'm doing my predictions for NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2. I should have my SummerSlam predictions out tomorrow, so that's when you should probably expect that. So, anyway, let's get on with the card. So, first we'll look at Ember Moon making her debut. She's a new women's wrestler that they're that's debuting at the event, which I think is actually much needed. I definitely think the NXT women's division is very slim at the minute. You haven't got that many talents. I mean, you've got Asuka, Bayley, Billie Kay, Liv Morgan. Those are the ones that come to mind anyway. There probably are a few more, but I can't remember them. So Ember Moon I think will be a good addition. Obviously her opponent's not announced, but you've got to feel that she'll go over as a way to kind of obviously give her some momentum going in, and who knows, maybe she'll be a future challenger for the women's title, maybe a future women's champion. I believe she came from Japan. They brought her in from Japan, so that's implying. I mean, I don't know much of her work really, to be honest. So, but I can imagine that she's more likely than not going to be a pretty solid worker. So, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with the character as well. The promos they've kind of shown are like her being quite mysterious and have a kind of persona. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of happens there. So next we'll look at No Way Jose versus Austin Aries. I think No Way Jose I've really kind of enjoyed him recently. Actually, I think him showing more of a fire, as it were, has actually been good for the character. It shows that he's not just, a goof who just dances around. Like, he can be serious when he wants to, and I really like that. And this feud with Aries, I think, has been pretty solid. Like, it's not been amazing, but it's been better than it really had any right to be. Austin Aries and TNA. What am I talking about? See, that's the thing. They brought in so many TNA guys. I think I'm talking about TNA now. But anyway, Austin Aries in NXT, I think, has been kind of underwhelming, personally. I mean, he had the really awesome match with Nakamura, but I just think in terms of the direction they've had for him hasn't been great. Aside from that, he just hasn't done anything that outstanding, and this kind of Jose feud is very filler. So, but I'm sure that they've got plans for Aries in the future, but it's just so far I just feel his direction, there doesn't seem to be one. So. As a prediction for who I think is going to go over, I think Aries will win. He probably should go over. I mean, I can see why maybe they'd have No Way Jose go over as sort of a shock, but I think your money's in Austin Aries. I think he should win it, personally. Next, we'll look at Andrade Cien Almas taking on Bobby Roode. And before I talk about this match, can I just say, Bobby Roode's theme song is fucking awesome. I love that. It's such a good theme. It really reminds me of Queen, actually. So if any of you, and I'm probably not the first person to say that, probably not the last, but just such an awesome song. And surely, if you're giving someone a song like that, you've got big plans for them. So I'm hoping that Bobby Roode has kind of a bright future ahead of him. Andrade Cien Almas, since he's kind of come up into NXT since debuting at Takeover the End, he's been alright. I mean, the guy's a great worker, I think. But I'm not sure whether he's someone that's really going to. I think he'll be one of those guys in NXT where he's not a top guy, but he's up there. I think I've seen a lot of people kind of say, "Oh, he'll end up being like Solomon Crow." I don't think that will be the case. I think they will. I think he'll do all right for himself because I think he's got a really. I think he's better in ring than Crow, personally. So I just think. I think there's more potential with Almas than there was with Crow, unfortunately. But yeah, I think Bobby Roode will go over. It's his debut, after all. It'd be a bit silly to make him lose to Almas, and Almas is undefeated anyway. So and him losing to Roode's not necessarily and not that bad. It's not like he's losing to I don't know. Trying to think of someone on NXT who's pretty shit. Yeah, just I don't know if you get my point though. So I'm going to go with Bobby Roode to go over here. I think this next match I'm going to talk about, I think it has actually the potential to steal the show. It could be, I call it the dark horse match. I think it could actually steal the show, and no one really expects it to. And that's the tag team title match, as the Revival take on Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. These guys, Gargano and Ciampa, had a really good match actually in the Cruiserweight Classic. I managed to get around to seeing that. Very fun match actually. I really did like that. And the Revival, I think, are definitely. I think they're now that American Alpha are gone, they probably actually are my favourite tag team on NXT. I really like them. They've really grown as a tag team, I think, and they look just so confident now. Not just in the ring, but when cutting promos and stuff. I really do like the Revival, and I think these two teams will just mesh really well together. And apparently Gargano and Ciampa have been tearing it up on the house show scene. So that's hopefully a sign of things to come at this event, and hopefully we get a really awesome match. As a prediction, I've kind of gone back and forth with this. I'm really kind of unsure as to who will win. A lot of people are saying Gargano and Ciampa, but you know what? I'm going to go with the Revival. I just feel like they're going to hold the belts just for a bit longer. I could definitely see Gargano and Ciampa taking the belts, but I don't know. I've got this feeling that Revival are going to retain, but I could very well be wrong. I wouldn't be surprised, but that would be my go-to pick, the Revival. Next, the NXT Women's Championship, Asuka defending against Bayley. This is another one where I'm kind of not sure. Like, I mean, they're doing this whole thing where Bayley's trying to get the belt back. A year ago she won it, and she's gonna try and win the belt again from Asuka. So I really do like that story. I think this has probably been the best built match going into Takeover Brooklyn. I think this has got the best story to it. I think it should be an awesome match. Like, I'm really hoping that this kind of turns into a brawl, and just becomes a really, And I think again this is another one that could steal the show potentially. Who do I think is going over? I mean, I'm kind of and ahhed. There was at first I thought Asuka, but then they started building in this Bayley storyline. They kind of made me think Bayley will win. And you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here. And I think I'm gonna go with Bayley. I think what they could do is they could have her lose the belt at the next Takeover. So that would be, I don't know what it would be in October. But they could have her defend the belt against Asuka in a third match, and Asuka can get the belt back. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bayley to win this actually. Finally, the main event, Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This could be an awesome match. I'm really looking forward to this. These two exceptional workers. Everything Nakamura has done in NXT, any top star in NXT that he's worked with, he's produced a great match. So I'm really excited for this. I think it will be a tremendous match. Samoa Joe, I think, has been awesome as NXT champion. He hasn't had the belt for that long, but just the way he's conducted himself, I just love Samoa Joe at the minute. But I think Nakamura will go over. I think this is the perfect time for Nakamura to get the belt. He's really gotten over in NXT. I think they need to strike when the iron's hot. I wouldn't hate Samoa Joe retaining, but I just think Nakamura should win this because he's just got so much momentum behind him, and I really think they should strike when the iron is hot. So anyway, that's my predictions for NXT Takeover Brooklyn. Hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a like, follow me on Twitter, follow me on us.fm, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys.